What's up, everyone? Iceman here. New Era Cap is the official headwear provider of the MLB, NFL, and the NBA, and a global brand of sport, culture, and self-expression for over 100 years. Whether it's to match your fit of the day or root on your favorite sports team, New Era Cap will always have you covered. As a born and raised New Englander and former marathon runner, the Boston Marathon holds a special place in my heart. The Red Sox New Era City Connect series, designed in the Boston Marathon's colors, are a great reminder to me of my heritage, my past, present, and future on full display. I wear this hat often, both on and off camera. If you want to support your favorite team, wear what the players wear, or accentuate your favorite pair of sneakers, New Era has you covered. Shop the official headwear by visiting neweracap.com/Iceman and use code Iceman at checkout and get 15% off. That's right, 15% off. Get after it and save now. What is in my sneaker collection and what is in my current rotation? We're getting into that this week on Fire Footwear. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Fire Footwear. As always, this is your host, Matt Frates. I hope that you are doing well, and I'm very, very happy that you are here. Big apologies for last week. I did not come out with some new content. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think I had a little bit too much of a good time when I visited Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm a Virginia Tech grad. I went down there for the first time in almost 20 years, took in a football game. It was a really, really great weekend. I think I came down with COVID. And I think that I got it from somebody at the game or somebody on campus or whatever. I think it's just going to happen. And my voice was just not up to par. My abilities were not up to par. So I took the time to rest and come back and figure out some content that I'm going to do for you this week. And when I was trying to think about it, I was looking at the sneaker world, as I always do. And even though last time we talked about bot releases and all that kind of stuff, I realized that maybe this is the time of year for me to get into what I have been wearing, because I do a lot of talking about other people, what they wear, other shoes that are out there, but I never really give you a glimpse into what I actually am wearing. Now, full disclosure here, I normally have a different rotation for some of these seasons because as a bigger guy, maybe you can't tell that on camera and you definitely can't tell that in the audio space, but as a bigger guy, shorts and high tops really isn't the best look for me. Could I actually wear it? Of course I could actually wear it. But should I actually wear it is really the question I should be asking myself. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I know unequivocally that the answer to that is no. So I don't do it. So my summer rotation generally tends to be a little bit less exclusive in terms of it's a lot less hype, it's a lot more comfort, and it's a lot more things that actually go with shorts because I generally like to wear shorts. It's hot down here in the DMV. It gets up to almost 100 degrees, and I really cannot wear pants in that kind of an environment. I already sweat enough as it is, and so I'm just not going to put myself through that. So I want to make sure that I look good. Now, you all know, if you've been listening to this long enough, you know that I'm not the most fashionable person in the world, although I do have to give a shout out to Crucial Vision for this awesome t-shirt, which I absolutely love. So please take a look in the show notes, wherever it is you're listening or watching, and make sure to support them because I think it is important to support the people that support you. And he is a follower on Instagram. And so for that, I thank him and I appreciate this awesome merch. So definitely check them out. So now that the summertime is winding down, my rotation is obviously going to be moving in a different direction. But I thought, well, summer is technically not over yet, so why don't we go over some of the shoes that are in my rotation? And I'm going to give you 5 shoes. I'm going to start with the least hyped all the way up to what I would consider the most hyped. Now, these are not the only 5 shoes that I am wearing. I'm obviously wearing a lot of others, but these are the 5 that I have probably worn the most throughout the summer months. They're the ones that I think are the best for me. They fit the mold in terms of comfort. They fit the mold in terms of look. And I think that they are awesome. So we are going to start with number 5. Number 5 is this guy, the New Balance 9060. I actually got these right before I went to England. And the reason that I got these is because I needed something that was going to be able to be up to the rigors of all the walking that we were going to be doing. And again, as a bigger guy and as somebody who just turned 40, I do need to make sure that comfort is first and foremost. A lot of times I think people will sacrifice functionality for fashion. And certainly some of the shoes that I'm going to show you a little bit later do meet that. But these are just plain blue. These were a GR release. They are great. They kind of have that chunky dad aesthetic vibe. And if you look at them, they're really nothing special compared to a lot of the other shoes that maybe we talk about and focus on in the sneaker world. But they are great. They are fire. And I think the color combination is absolutely wonderful. I think at my age, I generally tend to like function and fashion at the same time, and those definitely fit the bill. They were amazing in England. I wore them just about every single day, and they were up to the task. So if you are looking for something that is fire and functional, the New Balance 9060 is the silhouette for you. Let's move on to the next one. You should recognize this shoe, and this is the Yeezy 700 V2 Static. This is a shoe that I wanted for a really long time, but I had the Wave Runners forever, and I wore those into the ground. This is an amazing shoe, and even though it's plain, even though it's white, even though it's chunky, much like the 9060, this is one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever owned. To me, it is not up to the task or comparable to the Wave Runners. I think that the V1 in terms of the 700s are better than the V2s, but these are still really, really great. I picked these up a little bit before we went to England for the same exact reason as the 9060s. These are obviously a lot more hype as they go for a lot more money on the secondary market. But to me, the function is still the same. The idea is still the same. Obviously, this is an all-white shoe. Obviously, this is a dad shoe. It's very, very chunky. But if you look at the bottom, all that boost, it is wonderful. And you will have to excuse me because I have worn these a lot. I do not clean these, much like the Wave Runners. I wore them into the ground. I'm going to wear these into the ground. These are just an amazing, amazing shoe. If I'm being honest with you, I really think that you could get away with just about any 700 V2. It really depends on your aesthetic and what you like. I happen to like the all-whites of the Statics. There's obviously the Geodes. There's the Inertias. There are a lot of options out there for you. And Yeezy has obviously or had been re-releasing some of these other silhouettes and other colorways, and you could have picked them up. But I will tell you this, and again, this is not saying what you should or shouldn't do, but if you're looking for a pair that you're just going to beat up and you don't care who actually knows what it is, go to the rep market and find them because they do have a lot of options for very, very affordable prices. To me, the boost is the same. To me, the aesthetic is the same. And if you're just going to wear them and beat them up like I do, that's a much better financial way to go, in my opinion. Now to number 3. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I was very, very in love with this shoe. As a matter of fact, I did an episode of this show, and this is the Air Max 1 Big Bubble in the OG colorway. This is a fantastic shoe, folks. I was really, really sad that it sat the way that it did. I was really sad that many people weren't into the big bubble aspect of it. But I'm going to tell you something. It has that OG look, and it has the major comfort. It actually does something that I have been wanting Nike and Jordan Brand to do for a long time, and that is give us updated technology and updated comfort with that retro aesthetic. This is just a beautiful shoe. It's plain, it's simple, but the history is there. And I think that everybody should respect the culture as it relates to the shoe, the place that it has in the culture, and go back and listen to that episode that I did on the Air Max 1. One of the things that I found out about this is that because it had sat in certain places, you were able to get that at a discount if you were lucky. My wife was able to get this shoe in her size 20% off at the Nike outlet. That shouldn't be something that happens with a shoe that is like this, that is an OG shoe. People should put some respect on its name. But honestly, it is where it is. We are where we are in the culture because people generally tend to go for Jordans and Dunks and things like that. And while I love those shoes, they don't always have the best function and they don't always have the best vibe in terms of what I need and what other people need, especially if you have been in the game for a long time. So if you're able to pick up a pair of these big bubbles, not just the OG colorway, but they've been releasing other colorways, they're going to continue to do so in 2024. Get a pair of them. You're going to look great. You're going to feel great. And honestly, how can you get any better than that? All right, let's move on to number 2. Now, I said that I was going to go from least hype to most hype, and you're probably looking at this shoe if you're watching on YouTube and thinking, my goodness, he went from just about no hype to a lot of hype. And for those of you listening, this is the Travis Scott Dunk. This is the one that came out in 2019. I can't even remember what it's called. Maybe the Jack Boys colorway, something like that. But it's got that bandana print on it. It's got the plaid. It's got the rope laces. This is a beautiful shoe, folks. There's no other way to put this. This is a beautiful shoe. This shoe actually works almost all year long. As a matter of fact, I do wear it all year long. but it's almost perfect for the way that I dress in the summertime. I generally tend to wear a lot of blues. I wear some brighter colors. And because of the fact that this has blue, it has tan, it has black, and it has that pink inside swoosh, you're going to get a lot of versatility out of it. Now, this falls under the category of something that I've been talking about lately, and this is a Travis Scott shoe. It is a hype shoe. However, this is one of Travis's best shoes. In my opinion, he hit a home run with this shoe, and this is a objectively great shoe. To me, this was not putting just any old name on it, on any old shoe and any old colorway and calling it a day. This was actually putting craftsmanship into it. This was putting artistic value into it. And I think this was an absolute home run, paying homage to his skating background and honestly, a lot of the skaters out there. I absolutely love that shoe. I'm going to wear that shoe into the ground. And quite honestly, if I have to, I'm going to go get another pair of them to double up because they are that special. There's a lot of versatility that can be had if you swap some laces. I've been rocking with those rope laces since the beginning. They're amazing. I love them. They go with everything. And that's why they are in my rotation, not just in the summertime, but just about all year round. And that leaves us to the shoe that I wore the most during the summer of 2023. And this is the Sean Wotherspoon 97. I have an absolute love affair with this shoe. It is a wonderful shoe. It's perfect in just about every single way. Now, Sean Wotherspoon hasn't done a lot of great work, in my opinion, since then, but this is what he has on his resume. And you know what? This is all that you need. It's kind of like a golfer. If you're a professional golfer and you only win the Masters, you're doing a lot of great work. That's the only one that you really need. And this shoe right here, the one that I'm holding, is absolutely perfect. The corduroy, the bright colors, the velour sock liner, all of the nods to Sean's journey in this world, in the sneaker world. It is amazing. And you know what? It's actually comfortable too. Sometimes the old 97s don't feel that comfortable. It's one of the least comfortable shoes in terms of retros out there. However, this one, for some reason, is comfortable, and I absolutely love it. Sometimes simplicity is best, but sometimes taking a few risks is actually one of the greatest things that you can do on a sneaker. For me, the Sean Wotherspoon 97 takes those risks using the kind of materials that we don't normally see on a shoe of its type. The color scheme, all the different colors on it, it really was taking a risk, and it really was very specific to Sean Wotherspoon's aesthetics. But honestly, it was a home run. It will continue to be one of the best, if not the best, Air Max 97s of all time. That is not why I actually like to wear it, because I just think it's amazing. Again, I wear all of my shoes. It doesn't matter how hyped they are. And this shoe right here, the Air Max 97 Sean Wotherspoon, is one of my favorite shoes of all time. And I will wear it no matter what. And honestly, that's just a glimpse into what I have in my closet. Like many sneakerheads, I have a very large closet, but I don't have as much of a collection, I think, as a lot of people who are watching or listening to this. I know that when I look at other influencers, other YouTubers, and other podcasters, they have way more shoes than I do. Honestly, I just don't have the room to have all of them. But I would if I could. I just don't have the time. I don't have the effort, and I'm not going to be able to wear all of them. What I generally tend to do is I generally tend to have a rotation. I wear those shoes a lot, and then I have to get rid of them. Then I have to move on to something else because it's almost, for me, I find myself wanting to be saturated by the shoes that I like. And I generally have these phases where I will wear shoes over and over again, be able to match them with a lot of clothes that I have in my closet. And then I feel like I've gotten a lot of use out of them. But some of them stand the test of time, like those Sean Wotherspoon 97s, like the Travis Scott Dunks. They are always going to be in my rotation. I love them because they're just objectively great. And now we're going to change things up just a little bit. Normally, I do the release of the week with you. But this time, since we've been getting into my closet, we're going to do pickups of the week. Pickups of the week. We're changing it up a little bit. And right now, if you're watching on YouTube, I have some boxes in front of me. I don't normally do this, but I just happened to get some shoes in the mail today. I'm very, very excited. I don't buy shoes all that often. Normally, I just sort of buy them. I start putting them into the rotation and you see them on Instagram. But today, I have decided to change things up because after getting COVID, after being a little bit serious with the last couple of episodes, I want to do something fun. And so we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing today. So bear with me. In the audio space, I'm going to make sure that I explain what these shoes are. But if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to get a great glimpse of what I have. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see a Nike SB box in front of you. What you're going to notice is that it is the rainbow box era. So this is obviously a very, very new dunk. I'm very, very excited about these because I was born in the 80s. And so I have an appreciation for some of the old nostalgia of different past times. And I think that younger people don't have that. And that's why these shoes are something that I'm very excited about. They're not super, super hype. I think that they're really, really cool if you have a connection to that nostalgia. And what we have here is a very, very 80s nostalgia hit. And this is the Polaroid Dunk Low SBs. Now, SB Dunks are some of my favorite. I happen to like these a lot. I think that they have a lot of really awesome nods to them. Now, I'm not going to show you everything here, but this is a pickup that I recently had. I'm a size 12. Very, very excited to have these. Just black with some splash of color. These can be winter, these can be summer, these can be spring. That's one of the reasons that I like Dunk Lows a lot is because I believe that they're very, very versatile. I may change up the laces, but I think that these are absolutely wonderful. And I think that the details on these are spectacular. I love them. I know a lot of people that have a nostalgia hit by just looking at these. And so I'm very excited to add these to the rotation whenever it is that I feel it is appropriate. And now this next box is from the teal and black box era, whatever that official era is called. But that means that this is at least within the last 5 years. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This is a very, very hype release. I should preface by saying that the Blue Lobster is one of my favorite shoes of all time. The connection that it has to Boston, the color blue, the uniqueness of the colorway. Obviously, the Red Lobster predates it, but I absolutely love it. I think Concepts just hit a home run with the Lobster series. And one of the things that I've always wanted is to have a lobster shoe that could kind of be a little bit different and a little bit out there. I'm not quite into the yellow. I'm not quite into the red. I'm not quite into the orange. But this one right here, this is the green lobster. And I just got these in. This is a super hype shoe, I realize. But I absolutely love these. I think that everything about much of the lobsters is just amazing. I love how they went about it. And I think, though, that they are getting to the point of oversaturation with these. But these green lobsters are going to be perfect with a tan fit. It's going to be great with some khaki pants. I'm really excited to wear these, really excited to rock these. Much like all my SBs, I'm going to be wearing these into the ground. And if I want another pair, I can go get them. But I think that it's great. It came with all the accessories, some different lace swaps if you want to do that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I think it looks good in just the way that it comes in the box, but it's an amazing shoe. If you look at all of the print on it, the speckling, it's awesome. I love this shoe. I'm really excited to have this as a part of my closet. So what are you rocking these days? Get in touch with the show on Instagram. @FireFootwearPod is the handle to do that. It's where I do all the posting of my sneaker fits and all of my sneaker pictures. So you'd want to make sure you follow me there because it's where I do a lot of my good work in terms of photography. If you want to follow the show on Facebook, Fire Footwear, a sneaker podcast is what you can search there. MattyIceMedia.com is now back up and running. You can search for all the podcasts that we have there, including Political Football and Iceman and Coach. If you want to find me on TikTok, I do some work there. @FireFootwearPod is the handle to do that. And as always, if you want to email any comments or any questions, firefootwearpod@gmail.com is the email address to do that. I hope this finds you well, everybody. I hope this finds you safe. I hope that you are rocking your rotation in what makes you feel as good as possible. And I will see you all next week. This is Fire Footwear. The opinions and viewpoints expressed on Fire Footwear are those of Matt Frates and his guests, and not necessarily those of the Matty Ice Media Network. Fire Footwear is exclusively owned by Matt Frates and is brought to you by the Matty Ice Media Network.